Today is Sunday, and our heart opening day, our focus on love. And although I teach very much with that in mind always, when it's Sunday and I get to really focus on it, I love being able to share my knowledge with you all and be able to share my joy in love, being able to just see beauty everywhere. This is not something that I always had, or maybe it's something I always had, but for very many years I ignored. I didn't want to see the beauty. I didn't want to connect to the love. I turned myself off from all of that. And my heart became broken in a very real way. My ribs broke literally all around my heart in my body's way of telling me, hey, you need to open up here. You need to strengthen and open up. And so I did. And using the magic of yoga and the science of yoga, my heart started to heal in an energetic and a very physical way. I sit taller, I breathe easier, and I have this continued passion to bring that love to anyone who wants it, to anyone who shows up for themselves continually. So let's lay down. This often happens where my little yoga partner here takes my spot, but that's okay because I love her. Coming down to lay in bound angle pose, let's bring in our hug. For some reason, I do not mind bringing this position in over and over again. Thanks for moving. Being able to lay down into bound angle pose and wrap your arms around that rolled towel or rolled blanket or pillow, and just allowing the body to get that space. If you would like, you can have a second blanket somewhere supporting your spine, maybe long ways on the spine, lengthwise, where you lay down, still in bound angle, still hugging your other pillow. Or perhaps through the shoulders, turning the blanket sideways across the shoulders, and still, but make sure that you're getting that scientific, energetic hug with the blanket down through the center of the spine. That pressure to the sternum is really that beautiful signal to the body to release oxytocin. And if you're spending a little bit of time watching shows more than usual lately, Jason and I tend to not watch anything frivolous, shall we say. We tend to watch things that will teach us something. And there's a series of documentaries on Netflix where they talk about oxytocin and babies and how the act of holding a baby can really release that feeling of love for the mother, that feeling of holding the baby close, of nurturing something next to your heart. It's a phenomenal level of oxytocin that they can measure through the blood. But what amazed them when they found, what they found was it not only happened with the fathers, it also happened with adoptive parents, with anyone who held a baby close to them. And it's just that release, that physical pressure. And we can mimic that right here with the blanket, arms wrapped, body softening, and just allowing that process to happen, feeling yourself settle in to the earth as though you're being held, creating this feeling of safety in the body as you have that gentle pressure right there at the heart. And breathe slowly here. It takes about a minute or two for that message to get to the brain. See if you can feel when that oxytocin comes through. And allowing your heart to connect to the heart of those around you, to the heart of everyone in our virtual room. And due to the unlimited capacity of the heart, of that feeling of love, allow your heart to connect to your community, to your extended family, to all of the people in your life. To really create this web of brilliance going from your heart to theirs. We'll start to move here. Bring your knees together. Move your blanket off to the side if that's a reluctant move for you. If you really want to just lay there with the blanket, I encourage you to do that either now or later on throughout the day. It really does feel nice to have that pressure. Turn to your right side and then just come on up to easy pose, right leg crossed in front of left. Flex out through the heels, have the shins as parallel to each other as possible, reaching the heels away from the hips. You can sit on your blanket if you'd like. And then flip your palms up. And bring your thumb to the tip of your first finger. And just breathe here for one round. Inhale. And exhale. Bring thumb to middle finger. Just feeling that slight pressure. Take an inhale. And exhale. And you guessed it, third finger, press the thumb and the finger together. Take an inhale. Exhale. And to the pinky. And one more time. Thumb to first finger, inhale. Creating a sense of calm just by focusing on the fingers, exhaling slowly. Feet hear the sound of your breath. Spine nice and long. Thumb moves to the middle finger on the next breath, going with your rhythm, noticing. And next breath, next finger. And pinky finger, find that last breath back of the neck, nice and long. Stretch out through the hands, palms wide. And left palm comes to the sternum, right palm comes on top. And then tuck your chin to your chest. Today's focus, again, the heart's unlimited capacity to love. There is no one in the world that can deny the truth of that simple statement. Our heart has the unlimited capacity to love. Let's see where we can heal today to open up to that abundance. Take a deep breath. Even feel your heart beating under your hands. Connect to the miracle that is you. Right palm comes to the right knee. Keep the left hand on your heart. Twist to the left. Open up through the face. Look up, twist open. And take a few breaths here. As you're breathing, you might notice the spine's somewhat limited capacity to twist, but as you breathe here, inhale and press into the sit bones. As you exhale, use the strength of the right hand on the right knee to help you twist, still lifting up into that heart. Another breath. And come back to center. Right palm presses to the heart, left palm presses to the left knee. As you exhale, twist to the right. Open up through the face, through the neck, even looking up a little. This energetic lift. This is one of the things I started to wonder about as I was learning yoga initially, was why sometimes the teacher had us look up and why sometimes she had us look down. And it really is, you're lifting that invisible energy that runs through us all. You're lifting up to the possibility, you're opening to your own abundance. Take another breath. Come back to center. Both hands to your knees. Lift taller. And pour your heart forward to the earth. Arms reach out, palms, forearms, or forehead down. Take a few breaths and breathe into the back of your heart. Always remembering that we expand out, front, back, side to side, up and down, everything just opening here. Again, as you feel the hips open, as you feel the spine lengthen, you can walk those fingers a little forward. As you inhale, lift up just a little. Come out of your forward fold just 6 inches or so. Exhale, walk the hands over to the right. Feel the stretch in the side of the left ribs, the left hip, the left shoulder. Inhale, travel through center, staying low. Exhale, over to the left, stretching into the right side body. And we'll do this a few times. Eyes closed, jaw relaxed. Just opening here into the sides of the ribs, into the sides of the waist. Listen to your breathing here in this forward fold. Another round each side, slow and steady. The inhale taking at least 4 heartbeats. The exhale even longer. Walk the hands forward on your next inhale. Don't rush your stretch. Lift tall. Bring the knees together, soles of the feet to the earth. Press into the hands so that you can tilt back through the sit bones, back through the tailbone. Press down through the soles of your feet. Arms can rest on your shins, or maybe you'll fold them in front and just roll into a very comfortable and relaxed forward fold. Try to pour the belly to the chest. That's what that little tilt of the tailbone was, to bring the belly into contact with the chest And depending on shoulders, depending on how open you are, you can come into a lifted shape here. Elbows can rest on the knees, palms can press together as you rest the forehead in. Or whatever your version is, maybe even bringing the arms to the outside of the legs in that little hug. Breathe expansion into the back of your body. Really focus there on breathing into the belly. Pull it up into the back of the ribs. Pull it up into the shoulder blades. Even pull it up into the base of the throat, and a slow exhale. Feel yourself melt. The unlimited, expansive nature of love. Just breathe here. 2 more. And slowly come on up. Returning to easy pose. Left leg comes in front. Flex through the heels. Find that parallel nature of the shins as you can. Not trying to pull the heels in, but finding that open triangle position for the legs. Lift tall into your spine. Back of the neck opens, and flip your palms up. And this time, we'll start with the pinky, and we're going to bring the pad of the thumb to the nail of the finger now. Just directing, again, our attention and awareness to our hands. It's just a mindfulness practice, and it just wakes up our brain in an interesting way as well. So let your eyes close. And then thumb, the pad of the thumb, presses to the nail of the pinky finger, and try to stretch out through the other 3 as you go through this. Feel that as an opening of the muscles, of the tendons, of the joints and the fingers. And we'll take a breath at each connection. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. Just being in this practice. Next finger. Thumb meets the ring finger, the nail. Stretch out through the other fingers as you breathe. The next breath, move the thumb to the middle finger. Take your breath. Notice the length, notice the sound, notice your posture. Exhaling. And index finger. Stay at the index finger. Take another breath. And walk yourself back to the pinky. Just being with this practice, being with this mindfulness. Notice how your body is moving just as you're telling it to. Notice how your breath is coming more focused, more full, just because you're asking it to. Remembering that the human body is quite abundant in what it offers as well, especially when you pay attention. Right palm comes to the heart, left palm presses on top. Lengthen through the back of the neck and tuck the chin in. Breathe here, expanding. Keeping your chin tucked. Left hand moves to the knee. We're coming to our twist. Right hand stays pressing into the heart
As you open to your twist, lift through the elbow, open through the collarbone, and lift through the face all at once, pressing into the sit bones as you inhale. And as you exhale, adjust yourself so that you can open a little more. Come back to center. Left hand replaces the right. Right hand moves to the left knee, or to the right knee. Tuck your chin in, open to the left, and then open up through the elbow, open up through the face. Breathing into the sides of your ribs here as you're lifting through the elbow. It's not a passive pose. This twist is engaging from the tailbone, through the heart, through the face. Feel that stretch in your spine. Take another breath. And then come back to center. Bring both hands to your knees. Lift as tall as you can into your spine. Hold on to that height. Pull the heart forward toward the earth and either rest on hands, on forearms, or forehead. Just finding that stretch in the back of your body and breathing expansively from the belly into the ribs, into the kidneys, into the shoulder blades. Sometimes in these quieter poses too, as the heart heals, sometimes what we're healing from was something that we pushed aside because it was too painful, and that pain can come back in. And if that happens, I really invite you to take a breath, let it go, and then see if the next breath comes easier. And see if you can let it go again. So much of our time in our yoga practice, we focus in on love and energy and light. Start to walk your hands in, coming up to your lifted spine, and those legs will stretch out for a moment. And what we don't talk about all of the time with that light, with that love, is we usually have to heal from a lot of darkness. A song lyric that's coming to mind is, the darkest nights mean you see the light the most. And so whatever it is that you have to heal from, just let yourself be held safe here. Press into those sit bones, maybe even bring your hands back. We're coming into that forward fold. Again, pressing the tailbone back. Curl and round if you'd like as you come forward. You can rest the elbows to the forehead. And then just continue to breathe here into the expansive nature of your heart, of your love. And just bringing that space into the back of the body from the bottom to the top. Just allowing yourself time to open, to heal, and then to offer that healing back out to anyone else who needs it. Slowly walk your hands back in. Left knee comes back in front. Let's move into our lateral stretch. Press into the sit bones and return to your forward fold, but about 6 inches up from where we were. I just wanted to get that second side as we did the first side. So nice and open in your forward fold, and slowly walk the hands over to the left, sinking back through the right hip and expanding into the right rib cage, the right waist. 360 degrees of awesome human. It means that we need to open into the side body, the front body, the back body. Remembering that we radiate everywhere. Slowly through center. Walk the hands to the right and sink into that left-sided stretch. And walk back to center. Coming up. Stretch the legs out, and we'll come up and over into dog pose. Find a stretch and some feeling back in those legs. Pedal through, easing into your dog pose. We'll take about 10 breaths here. Open into your ankles, your toes, the backs of your heels. See if you can find some space in your calf muscles, in your hamstrings, in your hips, tracing the back of your body as you open up. Part of connecting to your heart and opening and healing is to connect to the rest of your body as well. To connect to it in a physical way so that you can learn where else you need to heal. And also where you're awesome. Where have you already healed? Walk forward into a plank pose. Bring your knees down. Keep your toes tucked. Take a breath. And slowly exhale just halfway down. Hold yourself here for just a breath. Inhale. As you exhale, press the ground away and stretch back. Keep the toes tucked to a child's pose. Try to melt the heart toward the earth, almost as though you're coming into a child's puppy pose. And as you inhale, firmly press into the palms, into all 10 fingers. Come up into your supported plank. Shoulder blades come back and down, elbows hug in. Exhale as you just come halfway forward, halfway down. Press the ground away, toes stay tucked, and try to come into a child's puppy pose. And come back up. We'll do this 3 more times. If coming halfway down is too much for wrists or shoulders, just come to the top of your push-up and pause. If it's okay for you, you'll come halfway down, just engaging into the shoulders, pressing the ground away. And then as you exhale, slowly sink back, maybe even reach the arms a little bit forward. Puppy pose is one of those poses where you don't understand the mechanics when the spine is tight. But when you start to notice that you can bring the chest down to the earth, you start to realize, keep moving here with your breath. As you come up, just lower, and then press back and lower again. We'll take 1 more round. Trying to melt the heart to the earth as you come back. Last one. To tabletop position, untuck the toes. And then wiggle into the ankles a few times. Little bend in the elbows just to hold those shoulders safe. And then crawl forward, palms press in. Lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, lift your heart, tops of the feet press in. Good. Exhale, slowly lower in. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Feel this massage in the belly and the ribs, in the diaphragm. Feel the lift of the heart. Exhale. Inhale, offer love. Exhale, offer yourself a little healing. Press back, child's pose. Tops of the feet to the earth this time. Relax the arms. You can reach arms back if you'd like. Expand here into your whole torso, belly opening, ribs opening, shoulders opening, and that beautiful heart opening and healing. Slowly lift up. Come forward, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Move luxuriously. Feel the hips over the heart. Feel the heart getting that little rush of blood. Walk your hands back. Hang in a comfortable ragdoll. Knees can bend. Press into your feet, hands to your shins, lengthen out through the crown of the head. As you exhale, fold in, try to pour the belly to the thighs. Press into the feet, reach all the way up. Arms come up. Hands to your hips, feet press in, elbows out, expanding out through the sides of your waist. Hands, maybe even instead of on the hips, you'll move them to the sides of the waist, the sides of the belly, so you can really feel the expansive nature of your breath. The breath is another one of those unlimited things that we have while that unlimited heart is beating, where you can really just tap into the air around you, bring it in, and let it bring energy. So hands at your waist, feet pressing in, hip distance or wider. Little bend to your knees, lift up into your toes, engage into your quads, lift up into the belly, lift up into the heart, shoulders relaxed, and breathe here. Really concentrate on opening through the hands, through the sides of the waist. Feel yourself steady and calm here. That lovely analogy of the bird sitting in the tree doesn't trust the tree to not break. She trusts her own wings to keep her safe if she falls. And this is one of those things where you just notice how strong you are, how capable you are. Feeling this strength, this confidence, this love when you live heart-centered, when you live with love. You heal from the inside out. Take another breath, extend up into your heart. Blow the air out of the mouth and release the arms down. Move into your ankles and wrists. We're going to bring a little heat into the legs so that we can come into a lovely stretchy twist that we haven't done yet in this nice 16 days so far. So it'll be fun and new to do today. Bring your feet a little bit wider, and we're going to sit back and down. You can even turn sideways on your mat. And we're going to sit back and down, lift up into your toes, and sit back and down in a way that you can bring your hands to your thighs. And then bring the fingers to the inside of the thighs or maybe the outside, and roll your thighs open. Sitting down and back, and bring a little bit of pressure into the hands. Help yourself hold yourself up here. And then move it gently into those hips. And come to center, pulse up and down a few times. Keep your squat. Right elbow comes to the right thigh, palm reaches up, left arm reaches away. Breathe into the strength of your heart. Expand into the left side, ribs, feet are pressing in. You're not dumping into the right shoulder, you're pressing into the elbow so that you can lift yourself into this heart-opening stretch. Left arm reaching away from the shoulder, shoulder reaching away from the hip. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Straighten the legs. Bring your hands back behind you, either to the sacrum or interlace, and lift up into the heart. Take a few breaths. Feel how squatting like that brings all of this awesome energy into your heart. Blood flowing. And again, that miracle of a human being being able to say, time to release the hands, bend the knees, sit down and back. Find your hands on your thighs again and move side to side. Maybe this time you sink in a little more, the feet can come further apart. You're never stuck in your yoga practice, always adjusting. Feel that strength. And then pulse up and down again. This is where, you do this for the next 5 or 6 years consistently. You might get into the splits. And then sit back and down as much as you can. Left elbow comes to the left thigh. You're pressing down so that you can open up. Open through the collarbones. Reach the right arm away from the right shoulder. Inhale. And exhale. Feel that stretch, opening into the side of your body, feeling the blood flowing, feeling that strength, feeling that awesomeness. One more. Back to center. Hands come back behind you, legs straighten, lift up. Feel the pulsing of your legs, of your heart. Release heat through the mouth. Heel, toe the feet in twice. Press down into the feet, press back through the knuckles if hands are interlaced. Slowly fold forward from the hips. Keep the hands lifting if that's okay for you, otherwise hands can rest on the sternum. If arms are reaching up, squeeze those shoulder blades together. A wide-legged version of ragdoll almost, where you really use the weight of the torso to help you to open into the legs. Release your arms down and just hang here. Maybe in a ragdoll, you can fold opposite elbows. Finding your way to a half lift. Bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift up, half lift, hands to your thighs. Exhale, fold in. Try to bring the belly toward the thighs. Just seeing if you can create more space. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And coming all the way up, press through the feet, reach through the arms, and pull your hands to your heart, thumbs to the sternum. Press down into the right heel and move the right toes over parallel to the side of your neck. Hands still at your heart, hips pressing forward. Don't let the right hip follow the right foot, but stay pressing forward. Take a breath. Bring your right palm to your heart. Left arm reaches up and over, coming into almost a shortened triangle pose. If I brought my arm down, I'd be in a shortened triangle pose. Really concentrating here on the stretch from the inner ankle into the inner thigh, the inner hip. Inhale, pressing yourself open into this heart stretch. Exhale, reach. One more. Come back to center. Left palm to the heart, toes forward, and right hand on top now for a moment as we switch sides. Once you bring the left toes out to the side, make sure that the hip didn't follow, but that you're pressing in. This is one of those keys to maintaining that stretch even in a shortened stance. And then left hand pressing to the heart. Start to come over into that triangle position as the right arm reaches up. It's part triangle, part side angle. It's a pose. Let's breathe. Inhale. Exhale and stretch. Feeling that pressure in the heart. Feeling that stretch in the side of your body, trying to lift up through the eyes, through the face. Press into the feet. Lift back up, hands to your heart, toe center. And heel toe back together. Arms down. Step to the top of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold in. Step back, downward facing dog. And knees come down to the earth. Come on up into a kneeling pose. We're going to come into our newer heart opener here. I've talked before, you might have taken it, just not in this series. I'll use my blanket. It's part gate pose, part puppy pose. And then we're gonna melt it into a puppy pose. I wanna give just a tutorial really quickly on puppy pose because it is such an easy pose to progress in when you have the mechanics of it. So knees, I always leave my knees a little wider than my hips just so that my sacrum has a little bit more room to tip up. And it's almost that feeling when we were on the ground here and I had us press back and we tipped our tailbone back. That's that feeling that we're going for in puppy pose. So knees are a little wide, you tip up through the tailbone. Hands reach forward. That tipping forward of the tailbone already starts to press the belly and the chest down. So instead of keeping a straight spine and trying to bring the forehead down to the earth, you're tilting up and creating stretch in the belly. And then you start to bring the chest, the heart down to the earth. Maybe forehead. So let's try that. Coming to tabletop. Take a moment here in tabletop, and here's our variation. We'll do puppy pose in the middle, but variation of the day. Shift the right knee out. I don't have a variation of the day, don't quote me on that one. Left leg's gonna come out so that you're almost at a gate pose for the left leg. So I'll show from the front. Right leg down, left toes out, hands still in the tabletop. And then turn out through those left toes. And from here, start to walk yourself forward. Tailbone tips up. You might notice this is enough of a stretch already. And then as you can, though, you'll start to bring the heart down to the earth. Puppy pose is a cute little nickname for the heart melting chakra, or the heart melting pose, where you're really trying to find this place where you're bringing the heart to the earth to offer love and to, of course, receive love. Feel that stretch. Walk yourself back to tabletop. Bring that left knee in. And the second side, right toes reach out. Turning the toes out once you have that length. Hands are pressing in. Tailbone starts to lift up. Tilting, finding that reaching forward with the hands. And pressing the chest down toward the earth. Just toward the earth, noticing any limitations or noticing where the body has found its stretch. A very simple truth. What goes around comes around. When you offer love, love comes back. And slowly lift up. Hands come under the shoulders, bring the right knee in. Knees as wide as the hips or a little wider. Tip up through the tailbone and start to lengthen yourself forward, really concentrating on that tilted tailbone, the widened sacrum as you bring the heart down to the earth or toward the earth. Listen to your breath. Slowly walk your hands up and in. Roll up into your blanket. Or roll your blanket up, don't roll up into it yet. We're gonna lay down, hips over the blanket for comfort in the spine. You can bring one cheek to the earth as the arms reach back, or you can come center with the arms and bring forehead down. Whatever feels nice to you, this restorative pose. We'll hold for a moment or two as I guide us into a meditation. And this is absolutely from my personal practice. This is something that I do quite often in the evening as I'm falling asleep. I'm a belly sleeper, that's why we're here. Just expand out into the back of your heart, eyes closing, feeling the chest just softening to the earth. Expanding out into the back of your heart center. And the color associated with our heart center is green. And so I want you to imagine the most amazing green you can think of. Let it center there at your heart, and each breath that you take, you pull that green into your body. And each exhale that you take, that green expands and flows out through your household. The inhale brings that green color in, and it just starts to diffuse out of you like a cloud of love and healing energy. And exhale, just drifting that green color through your household, down over to the neighbor's house, down over to your whole block, just allowing your exhales to expand. The inhale filling you with love, and the exhale allowing you to just send it out unlimited, the unlimited abundance of love. When you focus on it, when you really mindfully use it to heal yourself, to heal others, this magic starts to happen where suddenly you're healed. If you brought one cheek to the earth, very slowly just change sides. Continue to breathe here. The inhale nurturing you. The exhale just offering that love out to the whole universe, coating over through the whole city, the state. Not limited by lines on a map, but sending that love out to the whole universe. So allowing all of the people, all of the humans, all of us connected, feel the strength of your love. And this position is reverse Shavasana. If you're comfortable here, I do invite you just to lay here for Shavasana. You don't have to move at all. If you'd like, you can flip over to your back and stretch out as you're comfortable. And we'll rest for a few more moments. If this visualization works for you and you do have trouble with Shavasana, I invite you just to hold on to the imagery. Sometimes when you can quiet the body, but you can't quiet the mind, again, if you give it something to do, really practice that mindfulness. You bring that internal power more to your awareness. So as you're stretching out here, either on your belly or on your back, So make sure you feel completely comfortable, allowing awareness to be very inward today, even as you're expanding that love outward. You cannot offer healing and love unless you are healed and have self-love yourself. So breathe here, just nurturing this feeling that you've cultivated and allowing it to become part of you. Try to expand your breath, expand your heart. Have an open mouth exhale and just release. Gently into your body, just waking back up. If you're still on your belly, press back into a child's pose. If you're on your back, hug your knees to your chest. Notice how it's basically the same shape. And then wherever you're coming from, come on up into a comfortable seated position. Just in case you're coming up from child's pose. Hands to your heart and left hand to the sternum, right hand to the back of the left hand, and then tuck your chin in again, bow your head. Take a moment here. Send some love to the people who help you get through your day. And right now, I'm sending love to all of you. You help me get through my day. Remember that you are unlimited. You are abundant. And when you can heal yourself, you can then offer that healing to the rest of the world. Palms can stay pressing into the chest, or you can bring them together. We'll end class with the sound of 3 ohms. Sing with joy, sing with love. Inhale. Om. Thank you for taking the time to take care of yourselves today. Namaste.